to our second video on refuting the pagan holiday of Christmas. This was entitled, basically, Excuses for the Holidays, especially this one. As stated in the introduction video, it's not a coincidence that Christ used logic more than any other method of teaching of Scripture. He used earthly illustrations and parables to explain the spiritual and Scripture. So if we're going to be Christ-like, shouldn't we use the same method? Yes. That makes sense, right? Now this video about excuses for the holidays is going to be split into two separate parts. This first part is going to go through an introduction about some of the main statements people use. Now first, let's state a fact by Scripture itself. Number 1, Christ was born in the spring, not December. Why? Because the Bible teaches that, of course. Now people say, well, what difference does it make? We can celebrate his birth anytime we want to. Now it is true that we can celebrate the birthday any time of the year. But let me ask you this, why do we sing songs only one time a year about his birth, and people really believe he was born during this time? According to many historical sources, December was the birth of many false gods. But let's use an earthly illustration to explain the point. Remember, being Christ-like, teaching as Christ did. If I approached my wife and I told her, honey, I love you and I want to remember your birthday, but I have a hard time remembering it. But there was a girl I dated in high school and I remember her birthday very well. So could we just move your birthday to her birthday date? Because that will help me to remember it a lot better. And I promise you, dear, I will never think of that girl during the time. Now let's be honest here. Do you think that my wife is going to react in a calm, joyful manner? Or do you think she'll smack me in the face and give me a very disgusted look? Probably break a plate over my head. Think about it. How do you think God feels when we place his son's birthday alongside the birthday of many false gods during the month of December? Think about that for a while. If your own spouse would not put up with it, husband, why do you think God will just say, oh, that's okay. Go ahead and celebrate his birthday anytime you want to. Makes no difference to me. Really? Now don't take my word for it. Do your own research. A lot of false gods' birthdays are in December, not in spring. Well, outside of the pagan one in Easter. Secondly, I've seen Kirk Cameron's video on Saving Christmas, and it's a big joke. He said that we need to redefine pagan symbols and give them new meaning. Oh, really? Okay, so in that case, I can take the swastika and make it a Christian symbol, and claim that the four corners of the symbol symbolize the four corners of the earth to fulfill the Great Commission. So let's all wear swastikas on our shirts, foreheads, and our hats and turn it into a Christian symbol. How about that? Would that be okay? If not, then there's no excuse to accept Christmas as Christian. Otherwise, you're guilty of double standard. In other words, hypocrite. So that's the end of this first part. The second part are more lame excuses that people use. So stay tuned for the second part.